Before I went on maternity leave, I thought I knew exactly what to expect. But there were a few things I didn't realize until I was actually in it. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of the things I wish I knew before I went on maternity leave. And I'm not talking about the HR textbook stuff. I'm talking about real life things that will help make maternity leave easier, calmer, and less overwhelming. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Deborah, a toddler mom with a newborn. Welcome to my little corner of the internet called Nurtured Nest. I have now done maternity leave twice, and both times have taught me different lessons about planning, emotions, money, and identity. So if you're about to go on maternity leave or you're currently on maternity leave, I hope this few points of mine helps to make life a bit easier for you. Let's start with the boring but important bit, which is your money. You want to know what you're getting paid, when you're getting paid, how you're getting paid, the date, the time, the exact amount. Some companies pay earlier, some pay in arrears, some the moment you go on maternity leave. How payment works when you're working full time is like completely different. So you want to have all these details. Trust me, it is very, very important, because the last thing you want to worry about whilst you're on maternity leave is money. Period. You don't want that for yourself. So get all these informations, get the exact date, exact time this money is coming in, how much am I expecting per time. It just helps to keep your mind at ease. The next thing I'll say is to check what benefits continue whilst you're on leave. You don't want to be shocked when you go back to work and they're like, oh, this is how much holiday you've accumulated. It shouldn't be a surprise to you, because you're well informed, you're well aware of what you should be entitled to, so that you can ask for it when it doesn't happen. Okay, so that's the boring part out of the way. Okay, so let's talk about the emotional reality of maternity leave. You think that when you're going on maternity leave, it's time to rest. It's a time, like I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be on mat leave. I'm not going to worry about work. I'm not going to worry about somebody sending me an email that I haven't responded to. I'm just going to be resting. Ask me how many times I've rested. Mat leave is a shift. You're shifting from this work you to mom you. It's literally, mom you is also like a 24/7, no break, no sleep, constant worry. Is my child eating well? Is my child feeding well? Is my child achieving their milestones? Am I doing the right thing? Okay, what about my body? Am I taking care of my body well? Am I doing my exercises? Am I eating well? Let's not even talk about if you're breastfeeding. Am I doing this right? Why is my milk not coming out much? Should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? Should I? Loads of things. So it's a shift. It takes you move from that place of structure to a place of, now what am I doing here? And people don't talk about this a lot, and how it can affect you emotionally. So I don't want you to go into maternity leave thinking I'm going into rest, because you're not going to rest. You're going to get some rest, but it's a re-strategizing. It's like you're having 6 months off, a year off, to literally re-strategize, because now that you're not going on mat leave with the same number of people that was in your house before you went on mat leave. You have a new person in the house that needs your full attention 24/7. You can't work out, like you can't just say, oh, I'm going for a walk and I'm going to be back in an hour. Your child needs you. I gotta help you if you're breastfeeding. Nobody can attend to that child except you. Be aware of this emotional shift and be prepared. The time comes where you're feeling so overwhelmed, where you're feeling so defeated, because those days will come. You have to remind yourself that this is a shift. This is me readjusting. This is me getting to understand the new me, the new person, my new reality, and how best can I make this my reality work for me. Am I making sense? hit the comment section down below if I am making sense. Just go, you go, girl, you're speaking. Let's talk about some practical prep that you thank yourself for before going into maternity leave, or even whilst you're in it, like whilst you're in it at the moment. These are some of the things that you can do. So the very first thing I'll say is to build a buffer, build a small buffer, even if it's £200 you've kept aside, and whatever currency you're in, euros, pounds, dollars, naira, whichever one, keep something aside for yourself, for whatever. If you have that luxury, keep some for yourself, keep some for emergencies, keep some for baby. Now, not everyone is going to agree with me, but I personally think you don't need to have a full wardrobe of clothes for your baby. Let me de-influence you for a minute. You don't need it. So I personally buy things in bits. I buy things based on their stages. So 0 to 3 months. When my child is approaching 3 months, I can even do like 0 to 6 months. But to go all the way to 2 years, in 2 years, I would see something a bit nicer that I want to get for my child. And I don't want to like make them wear what I've bought for them 2, 3 years ago. I might even forget, and then it ends up being a waste. In case you don't know, not every child goes from 0 to 3 months, then 3 to 6 months, then 6 to 9 months. Some children do 0 to 3 months and they jump 6 to 9 because some children do 0 to 3 months, a week of 3 to 6 months, and then the next thing you're 6 to 9 months. So buying things way in advance is like, social media makes it look like, oh, your child is going to be 0 to 3 months for 3 months, and then from 3 months they'll move to 3 to 6 months for another 3 months. Girl, it don't work like that. Okay, so you don't need to, because half of the time you will not be using those things. Okay, stick to the essentials, stick to what matters. Another practical thing I would say is to think about help. In this part of the world, and I think it's not even this part of the world, because I've watched videos in even the Nigeria where I'm from, and I've seen people talk about how they don't have as much support even in Nigeria, because we here in the UK or in diaspora tend to say, oh, in Nigeria you have a village, people are there to help you, blah, blah, blah. And recently I've been watching videos from even people who reside in Nigeria talking about how they don't even have that support or help like that. And so it's now for me a thing of the current generation that we're in. We have working moms. We have working grandparents. They're still very much agile, still very much young, still working. They don't have that luxury to just come and leave everything you're doing and come and sit with you for 6 months looking after a baby. You have to plan your help. Okay? You don't get extra points for suffering in silence. So make sure that you ask for help and way in advance, because you're very aware that people are busy. Plan in advance. I think I mentioned in one of my videos before of how I got one of my friends to help organize my son's birthday, because my last trimester was kind of around his birthday and I didn't want him to miss out with anything. So I spoke to my friend the moment I knew that I was ready to share about my pregnancy, and I said to her, look, I want you to take charge of my son's birthday this year. Just let me know what you need and blah blah blah. And she didn't even ask me for anything. She just took that upon herself, came that morning, took him. He had a good time. I don't even know what happened. I just saw pictures. When they came back, I saw cake, I saw food, I saw everything. So you really, really want to be vocal about your health and let people know that this is what I need, this is how I need it, this is where I need it, and this is when I need it. Okay? Should I say that again? This is what I need, this is how I need it, this is where I need it, and this is when I need it. Those 4 things: your how, your what, your where, and your when, so that people are aware of how to help you in that time. And that way you can also have rest as well. Yeah? And finally, create gentle home systems. Get like a nappy caddy by your side. You don't need to get like all these fancy trolleys. You can have baby's nappies, you can have baby's wipes, you can have baby's nappy creams, you can have baby's everything just by your side. They're just somewhere by your side, and then you can always just carry that whenever you need to move about. So create systems, very, very important. It's not about the perfection, it's just about creating a rhythm for yourself so that you have that rhythm working for you, and everyone around you is aware of that rhythm, and everyone that comes around knows that this is what happens. This is what's happened at this time of my life, and that can help you to a bit, function and be a bit calmer. So the next thing is to talk about returning to work. Now, I'm not returning to work yet, but I'm starting to think about it. When do I want to start? Do I want to go back early? Do I want to stay back? Do I want to, I'm starting to have these conversations in my head. And I think from doing a little bit of research about it, I see that many moms start to think about it from that 6 month mark, because for for most companies, after 6 months, you switch to half pay anyway. And for some companies, I think in Canada, you get paid for the full 9 months or 12 months. But in the UK, and for some companies, you get your full pay for 6 months, and then from the seventh month, you start getting paid half pay. So how does that work for you? And for some people, from that 6 months, you start to think, do I want to, keep working, or can I manage to go back to work? Do I want to stay back? And you start having this type of conversation. So here are some of the things that I have been thinking about, and yeah, we're going to talk about it together. And if you're in this stage like I am, let me know in the comment section if you're thinking like I'm thinking, or you already have this figured out, so that I can learn. I can also pick your brains as well. So let's get into this one. So, the one question that's on my mind is, when do I want to return? How do I want to return? And is my baby ready for me to go back to work? Do I have everything I need? If I don't go back to work, will I suffer? If I'm not getting, will I suffer? Will I need a buffer? What do I need? And how can I achieve all of those things? But even whilst I'm thinking of all of that, one thing that I have ensured to have at the back of my mind is, number one, not rush my answers, because my feelings can change. And I've noticed that a lot. Today I'm like, oh, I'm going to go back in 6 months. The next day I'm like, is my baby actually ready for me to go back in 6 months? The best thing is not to rush your answers. Give yourself enough time. Pray about it. Okay? We're praying moms here. You don't do anything without God. Okay? Pray about it. In fact, I wouldn't leave it till the 6 months before you start praying. Okay? Be praying about it before now. And so that God can guide you and help you through this next phase, because the next phase is now you now bringing work into everything that you have been able to achieve. Maybe for the past 6 months, you've probably created a rhythm for yourself, your baby, your family, your children, and now you have to bring work into this mix. Now, what is that going to mean for you? That means that there will be some times where you won't be emotionally, physically available for your family, because you have to give that time to your work. And what does that mean for you, all of you in the house? Constantly having conversations with your husband and the core people in your family is very important in this stage. I would say do that. I'm doing that, still doing that with my husband right now. What is working for us? I want to go back at this time. What does that mean? Is it doable? Do we need to push it a bit further? When I go to work, this is what it means. It means that this cannot happen anymore. This needs to be set in place. That needs to be set in place. You need to have that conversation. It's not a thing of just waking up the next day and be like, yeah, it's time to go back to work. So you want to return when you feel like it's, from your family dynamics, it's okay for you. Some people are ready in 3 months. That's fine. Some people are ready in 6 months. Some people, even after the 1 year, it's not okay. And thankfully, there are kid days in place. There are, if you don't know what kid days are, these are keep in touch type of days. And then there are like phases when you go back to work. It's not like you're thrown in straight away. So this is to say that maternity leave isn't a break, contrary to what people think. People make it seem like, oh, you're on break, you're relaxing and everything. It really isn't. It's not a break. It's a shift. It's you taking out time to heal, you're adjusting, you're learning, you're loving, and accepting this new version of yourself all at the one time. I keep saying this a lot on this channel. As mothers, you really want to give yourself grace. Comparing yourself to what you're seeing online or comparing your situation to what you're seeing another person do is not the way. It's not, absolutely not the way. You want to give yourself grace and work based on what works for you. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Join me on Nurtured Nest, where we talk about motherhood honestly, softly, and without pressure. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye guys.